Truth be told, when I wonder what the future holds, it takes me out of the present. New moon waxing, full moon waning, crescent. Life cycles, teammates or rivals. Soul search, dangerous World War III, the goal's always survival. That's nature, day you're born when you meet your maker. Tears start chasing paper, burning trees or melting glaciers. But truth be told, when I wonder what the future holds, it's impossible to process, so I stay focused on my progress.
Yo. Welcome back to Triple Captains Podcast. It's your boy Hots, aka Hardcore Hots. And I'm here with the co-hosts, Ark and Guffs. If you haven't seen the show before, every time we open the show, it's always the manager who finishes with the most points. This week it was me. Game week 1, it was Ark, and Guffs is in a big fat 0. It's an interesting game week. Let's just get straight in it.
Is that how we're starting, yeah?
100%. This is what it is.
Do you know what? I can already see.
You know what? I haven't finished my intro.
Oh, you
I haven't finished my intro. Actually,
get it off your chest, big man. Get it all off your chest.
No,
get it all off your chest, big man. It's your light. Shine, my friend, shine.
Ark. Guffs. Let's just tone it down a little bit. Whoever gets the most points every game week opens the show. And you'll know when I'm finished talking, Guffs. So just chill. You'll have your moment at some point in the season, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, it's very interesting game week. Some good results. You know what? Seriously, let's get into the results because there's no point delaying it. Things were said in the first few episodes and it seems they're coming to light. I remember discussions about, since you wanted to speak so much, Guffs, I remember you talking about Man City. And I remember saying, listen, calm down, son. Let's wait until game week 2. You heard, my youth. Calm down and wait until game week 2 prevails. And let's see what Man City do then. What did they do? What did they do?
They got smoked. That's what they did.
That's what I told you. Calm down on game week 1.
You know? No, I hear that. And look, I think that this is the thing with Game Week 1. And Game Week 1 is always... We're here to talk about the Game Week 1, and Game Week 1, I think we all agree, they looked impressive. But I did say, for those who listened last week, that it is Game Week 1 and Wolves are one of the poorer teams. So, look, I think Spurs played really well. So first and foremost, let's just say, well done to Spurs. As much as that's hard to say as an Arsenal fan. They looked really good. They had a good shape. And they deserve to win the game.
Should even start the episode again. What do you mean, well done, Middlesex?
Well, listen. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm a football fan. Do you know what I mean? I'm a guy of humility and transparency, as I've already said in the show before.
You don't have any humility to you, my friend.
I've got lots of humility. It's just you guys, you specifically. Anyway.
Sorry, one second. Why is your name still Guffs on there?
What should it be?
Were you not renamed last week? Until you open the show, that should be Leicester.
Listen,
I don't know why it's Guffs.
Listen, Mr. Byrat, yeah? With the cheap suits.
Mr. Byrat, Wow. Wow. Huh? Was there even a Mr. Byrat in East London?
About Leicester.
Bro, you are Leicester. And you know what? Mr. Byrat was good. Used to go there and Baron John. Blessed places with my Wall Street massive. Yeah. It's all good. Which one of you had tight roll-ups? And which one of you had a fake click suit?
I had original click suits and the raggers.
Yeah. I had raggers. I know you didn't have raggers. Yeah, you see, you had bastards. You didn't have plimsolls. You had the worst ones. You just walk past the market and pull them out of a basket, innit?
Man was window shopping as a youth.
Don't sing on the show again, fam. Don't do it. Don't sing on the show again. Allow it. But listen.
Game week 2 was interesting. I think there were some really good results. Obviously, Arsenal stepped up, came to the fore, which is good to see. Gyökeres off the mark, which is nice.
Again,
I know obviously for you Hots, it was good thing for you.
100%, because like I said in game week 1 as well, like people were getting onto Gyökeres, talking all this crap about the more flicks of the hair, and you saw my man's celebration. You get me? For a second go, I had to let them idiot know just quickly, you don't talk about what you want to talk about. Oh, you just gave me a new celebration.
Do you know what?
In the same way that you said to Guffs that he needs to chill because it was Wolves.
Yeah,
like it was Leeds.
100%. But that's not what I'm talking about here.
Be cool.
No, I am cool. What I'm talking about is people were gassing that all he does is flick his hair all game. He scored a decent goal and he got off the mark.
We know the plonker that was saying that. Like
there was more than one. There was more than one. It wasn't one person.
Well, fair enough.
It was on the media. It was said like it was enough to make him say, "What are these people chatting shit?" I've only been here for like a couple of weeks, and it's my second game. 2 goals, 2 games. Like he gave them the mask, then he gave them the hair touch ups. You get me?
What I like about him, like I still don't think he even played brilliantly, but what I like about him, is he had this like look about him, like he's his hair. There's no smiling. I'm not here to play games. He kind of has this kind of like really kind of business look that he's here to destroy. And I don't know, like sometimes players have this energy which transmits onto the pitch. And I think there's still things to unlock with him, right? I think Arsenal still need to find a way to play with him and find him. I still don't think they have quite worked out what areas of the pitch that he operates in, but that will come. But in terms
I don't think he has worked out where he does either.
No, but he's going to score a lot of goals.
Listen,
he's going to score a lot
some
of
people.
He will do.
Some people are just going to hate on him regardless of what he does. But the bottom line is this: he's been here for a week or two. He's played 2 league games. He doesn't even look fully fit. Two games, 2 goals. There's not much more he can do. Like we just go from here. My thing wasn't about glorifying what he did against Leeds. My thing was about people were chatting rubbish on his first game, and on his second game, he's responded. And that's that. I don't want to go on about man. We've got Liverpool next week. We'll see what happens in that game. It's not just about him, but as an overall result, it was a good victory.
He'll get space in the Liverpool game.
Well, we'll see. But the overall result, Leeds got Arsenal did what they needed to do. They needed to go out there and hammer Leeds. And I said that as well. If they didn't hammer Leeds, it ain't a good look. So going out there and doing it has made it, it will give them confidence, and it will give him confidence getting his first couple of goals. But there's a sad side to everything. Obviously, Saka going off injured, Odegaard going off injured. So, there's that side too, and it happened in other games too this week. So this game week 2 it had a lot of highs but a lot of lows, because even if like the Chelsea game, Palmer got injured in the warm up, that was a myth, because most people's got Palmer.
Do you know what? I was so happy, bro. Like I felt like a G then, because like obviously I sold Palmer for Saka. When I heard the news that he got injured, I was like, bro, I was like doing a bogle. I was celebrating. But
he was doing the bogle, yeah?
Yeah, I was doing the bogle. Yeah.
Or was he doing the butterfly?
There, I was doing that, bro. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
obviously that all got short-lived when Saka came off injured in the second half.
You can't be happy about a man being injured, though.
What do you mean?
He evidently was.
Yeah, but you can't be happy about a man being injured. Like that's a bit deep, bro.
It's a minor. He hasn't broken his leg, is he? He's not in hospital. It's a minor thing, isn't it? He's not dead.
Well, I suppose so.
Do you know what? When it comes to fantasy
he
football,
went carny, innit? So I'm sure he's fine.
When it comes to fantasy football, you just want your players to deliver, and the ones you take out not to. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's not personal; it's business, and that's how I operate. But like, I was disappointed, and I was getting triggered because obviously I've got Palmer, I've got Saka, and I've got players who are annoying me. But yeah, the results overall are interesting because the City game, as we said.
I know you're the man that call yourself hardcore hots, but like, who really annoys you though?
Palmer getting injured, was one thing. Saka getting injured before 60 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I support Arsenal. He got a goal, and I think if he was still on the pitch, he would have got more. So it's like it made me just annoyed in that sense. But Gyökeres got off the mark, which made it good. But I'm getting annoyed by guys like Adingra. I could see he's going to start every game, but the manager looks like he's going to keep taking him off. And Sunderland losing to Burnley wasn't a good look for me. Like, I knew that it could happen, but I didn't like him slapping to opponent. I can't remember who he slapped, but I think it was Hannibal. But Adingra did some idiot little pum slap, and I thought, what are you doing? Just for that, I should take you out of my team because I don't want idiots in my team. No, you know, I'm not on all that. Doing some little pum slap, and then it's not even. If you're gonna slap someone, slap them. That's how I look at it. But like, I just don't like the way they keep him taking him off. He doesn't play 90 minutes, and they got a big squad. So it's like, yes, he's gonna be a starter, but he's gonna keep coming off, and I don't need that. If I'm gonna have you in my starting lineup, regardless if you've got good fixtures and you've got the potential for goals and assists, which he's got one already, you need to be playing more minutes, or you're coming out my team. So like, I was getting annoyed all round, to be honest. Nottingham Forest again, conceding. So it's just like, look, I'm not gonna lie. I've been itching to do minuses, and I will be literally. But obviously there was Carabao Cup, etc. But there was a few results. Like the Burnley one, you could say it would go either way. They're at home, so you would expect that. The Spurs was a shocker. Arsenal was expected. And then United. What was the result with them again? Yeah.
They drew 1-1. I mean,
what's your views on that?
I look at United and I'm so happy. Like, I hate a lot of rival fans, right? I hate Spurs fans because, you know, I'm an Arsenal fan. I hate Chelsea because of what they stand for. I hate Liverpool because they're arrogant. But you see Man United fans? You see you fans and guys watching this show? You guys are the worst. Because you always want to talk about the history of it. Shut up. Do you mean? What now, bruv? And the thing is that I look at the situation and they're fully in the mud. Because now Amorim has created a situation where he's now creating his own grave. Because he's come in wanting to install this new formation, and by hook or by crook, he's going to play his formation, right? And he's taking no prisoners, he's not going to change it, but they're dying in the formation. And now he's at a crossroad because what's he going to do? He can't change from the formation, and if he does, he looks weak, right? But at the same time, if he continues playing this formation, they're going to die because Bruno Fernandes can't play in a 2. He doesn't want to defend. Casemiro's legs are gone. So I'm sitting back watching Man United thinking, this is fun to watch because every week you're going to have problems because it's not working. So
the issue is more about, it's not that he can't change the formation. He wouldn't look weak if he did it. The issue is that Amorim hasn't played a different formation for 4 years. Like, that's what he does. He only plays that formation.
That's all he knows.
But so that's the issue that you've got. I think the bottom line is they have bought very good players.
Definitely.
Like, so them having the youth from Brentford and getting Cunha in, like, these are good players. Like, what they've effectively done is got the best sharpshooters outside of the top 6. So they're gonna be in the mix of things at some point. But yeah, the underbelly business in the middle is not a good look. From the time you're having Bassi at Fulham flexing on you about your tactics, that's not a good look. Like, you need to change. I saw his interview talking about, we knew he was going to be able to do this because of XYZ, and they've got this in midfield. And then you've got Iwobi joining in. I was like, wow, that's deep. You don't need to hear players like that flexing on you.
You know what? They've
not
got
tactically.
Anyone watching that game would see, right, that Fulham, for most of that game, had their way. And because they had the 3 in midfield, they just basically were outnumbering Man United all game long. And, you know, they have got good attackers. And I think there will be games with Man United they'll play. Maybe games when they're away from home, right? When they can counter-attack, where they're going to score goals, right? And have one of those games where they kind of score 3 from 5 chances or whatever. But they can't.
I think they will do well against the bigger teams. So when they play teams that are at the top end of the table, those teams play with a higher line. And that's why when, for instance, they was playing Arsenal, you could see the outball was always to Mbumia, right, or to Cunha, and it was always the same way. Like, they were doing them raking balls that you'd expect to see from Van Dijk. Like, and that's what they do, and that's how they'll get around it. But yeah, against your bread and butter teams, that's where they're going to struggle the most.
So they play Burnley this game week, and a lot of people are expecting them to go out there and batter Burnley like we did Leeds.
Yeah,
Do you not see that?
No, they just lost to Grimsby. So like, how they gonna do that? I'm not even sure. Like, I've been seeing all the movements. I see everybody is out there running around transferring Cunha in and things like this, and I'm sitting back and I'm looking and I'm like, it smells like an opportunity. Like, I've looked at his XG and so on, but I'm like, just the club is in the bin. Like, so you can't even take a chance.
I see United scoring a few goals. Look, let's be real. When you've got a certain amount of quality in your squad, you're going to get results at some point. But I just don't think they're going to be fighting for anything serious this year. Sesko's going to take a while.
They won't be fighting for the energy cups anyway.
Sesko's taking a while to settle as well.
There was one incident in that game that stood out though. I mean, we got to address that, surely, you know, in Man United game, you know. I mean...
It's like you're trying to force me into my donut of the week. That's what it feels like you're trying to do, because that's who it is. And if we're going to go there, we'll go there right now then. Because my donut...
All right, I'll let you talk.
Yeah, because my donut of the week is Bruno Fernandes. Like, look, he's a decent player. Like, there's no doubt he's, I would say, one of the best midfielders in the league. As someone just pointed out, can he play where he's being played at right now? Who knows? But the bottom line is, you don't step up for the penalty where you can win United the game, and then when you're backing away, not looking what's behind you, and the ref is clearly not looking at you, accidentally you go into each other. Because like I said, he's backing up. So if you're walking backwards and you're not looking what's behind you, it's like reversing a car, and you just reverse, go into a car, and then you start moaning at the driver in the car. You've got to look where you're going to. Then you start whining like a little, and then want to move the ball, calling the ref back, wasting more time, and getting yourself all worked up, and then shoot over the bar. And then you're talking later on about the referee should apologize, and all. He didn't apologize. Man's a waste, man. The idiot. Like, you missed the penalty, just take it, and that literally just accept. You effed up, like, instead of making bare excuses. Like, even at the time when he barged into the ref, he turned around and he's trying to give him like looks, and I was thinking, you dickhead, just put it in the back of the net. And he's a good penalty taker usually. I could see in the run up he was gonna do that. So, like, obviously it's been stated that I'm gonna do my donut of the week every week, and he's my donut of the week. There's probably other people that you could bring forward and say they could have been the donut of the week, but it's my section and I pick who's the donut, and I've picked Bruno. But do you guys think there was anyone else that could have made the list? Or do you agree?
There's a couple of people in my head, but some of them are not even players. Like Russell Martin, that guy that looks after Rangers. He needs to get in the bin. Did you see what happened to them last week when they was playing Bruges? The two defenders that like spun off of each other, like properly drilled into them to do that. And I think tonight they've even lost 6-0 to them. I'm like, this guy he's not a serious person. But then there are other donuts. Like, coming back to where we were, like, we ain't even addressed certain of the games properly. Like Liverpool Newcastle. Is that prisoner derby? Like, it's a special game. It's a special game. Like, and that 1970s tennis player, what was he up to? Like, he's surely up there for becoming donut of the week.
The sad thing is, he was having a good game. Like, he was. I mean, he missed a couple of chances, but he was causing Liverpool a lot of problems. And
now you lot know my thoughts on Gordon. I'm never sad about anything with him. I think it was great.
Do you know what the thing is? Yeah. Yes, it was a rash challenge and everything, and you can see Van Dijk pointing at his calf, showing, look, there's the stud marks. Again.
See, this is the thing I don't like about Van Dijk, because he's like that. He does those kind of things. He does mad, dirty challenges himself, and he's good with that. But like anybody does that, he's got this arrogant way of, oh, look at what's happened to me. Like almost like he's pushing the ref to do it himself.
God forbid you touch my hair. Not the hair.
But look at this though, yeah. I told you about Van Dijk from before the season started. Man's not the same, and you could see it with Newcastle and the way they were going at Liverpool's defense anyway. But back to Gordon quickly. With me, it's like I wouldn't put him as donut of the week because he got a red card. I did with Konsa because of the way he got the red card. With Gordon, he was it's just momentum. He's just trying too hard and did a foolish challenge, and it deserved the red. Let's not mistake it. But like I felt sorry for Newcastle because they played well with 10 men. It was like Liverpool had 10 men, to be honest. Like Liverpool was on the ropes. And then obviously Liverpool do what Liverpool do. To be fair to them, they always get that little goal before the final whistle. Like, and Salah got his assist.
The issue is emotion, isn't it? Like if Newcastle played without emotion, they would have managed that game out and taken away the point. But what happened was they lost their head. Like they lost their head and forgot that they're down by one man. So even if you look at the goal, like don't get me wrong, what Szoboszlai did was good, the way that he dummied it. But my man was completely free like that because they've got one less man, right? Like, but they completely forgot that because they're going for the win. Like it's the 99th minute or whatever time it was, and they're going for the win, even though they've only got 10 men, because the emotion has just got to them. Like, and it's and I find that with their team in general. So I like Newcastle from Keegan days, but I don't like Newcastle with Eddie Howe. Like for me, they're like a Wimbledon. They're a transition team.
Well, look, if they had Isaac playing for them, do you think it would have been any different? Because we haven't mentioned him yet.
You see,
yeah, but Isaac probably would have scored an own goal, wouldn't it?
I have a very different view to Ark. Like, I like Newcastle because Newcastle.
Yeah, because you love passion.
No,
man, just running up and down the pitch so that you can say, "Oh yeah, I'm entertained."
Look, at the end of the day, what's the Premier League built on? It's built on that. That's why we love this league, right? Because it's built on like those English traditions. I don't want the Premier League.
You was one of them, man, that when you used to play football as a youth, like you'd have the manager smack you on your bottom, say, "Oh, get me a goal, son," innit? And you'd be happy with that, innit? Like, because what do you mean? Yeah, this is what it's built on.
Yo,
like, what do you mean?
That thing, bro? Why for that? I mean, but listen. My thing is, I like variety in it. Like I don't want all teams trying to play out from the back and trying to do this like split defenders. Like I like the fact that Newcastle had their own way of playing, and I think that makes games, right? And the fact that Newcastle are true to Eddie Howe's vision. You know, they're a team that plays.
What, just running around and maiming people?
Look, I think it's give them a bit of credit. I don't think they're just. I think
what credit? They run people around and maim people. That's what they do.
They play forward football. They're not trying to pass around the back and trying to play slow. They're quite happy to go over the top and get people running in behind. They play quick football. A bit like Villa. Villa play the same way. Villa are not trying to really play a passing game. What they want to try and do is they want to try and get the ball forward quickly. Newcastle sort of play a similar football, and
so is that what you see Joe Linton do? Yeah, you see him playing.
Was it a great game? It was, right, and it was a great game because Newcastle played that passion, that emotion, and they played even with 10 men. They played forcefully. They got forward.
I don't mind Newcastle,
and I quite enjoy that. I like them.
I don't mind them. Look, with me, I don't mind.
It's a man's game, man. It's a man's game. Like at the end of the day, what are we doing here, brother? Like, you know what I mean? Like all these like. I don't like this modern game right now where people are just getting, it's a foul, get the card, play the game.
There's a balancing act.
I want to see a man's game. Like, so for
there's
me,
a balancing act.
I haven't got an issue with it.
Newcastle are just a bunch of little thugs. That's all they are.
Boy, I don't mind Newcastle. You mentioned Villa, and I don't mind them, but look at how they've been so far this season. For the people that's got Watkins, Rodgers, like, look at their result on the weekend. Like you said, we still miss certain teams. They are
struggling. I think Villa are struggling because this I'm going to put on Emery. I think you're playing McGinn on the wing, which to me, what are you doing, bruv? That's to me, that's stupid. You know, I think you got Rodgers, who was amazing last year, playing in the 10. You play him on the left. Like for me, he's just kind
of got people in the wrong positions. My ears hearing right. Is Guffs criticising Count Dacula? Like,
I
is
like
he not
Emery.
your guy?
No. You got mixed up with someone else, my friend. He ain't my guy.
Oh,
But
wow.
like,
Okay.
he'd never be my guy. Never ever be my guy. But listen, I just think that he's kind of got.
I
people
think
in the
he's
wrong
been a decent.
positions.
I think he's been a decent manager. He's done well with certain other clubs. He's doing okay at
Yeah,
Arsenal,
he's
but
the
not
underdog
so good.
manager, ain't he?
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, he is. He's spot on.
do you know what? Let's just move on from Villa to the team that I believe is the worst at the moment, West Ham. Like,
Now you say West Ham, that's my donut of the week. If I had one, like, is their manager Potter? He's under pressure right now. I think that the first error is why you're benching Areola. Areola was good for you last year. You got this donut in goal who's just making mistake.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't have Areola go. However, I don't think he was good. That's why Fabianski was playing games. Do you get it? So he's brought in whoever this Don is, trying to improve their goalkeeper situation, and it's backfired. And now he's trying to stick to his man, and it's not working out. So it's
I'm
quite
not sure
amusing.
that you go out and you buy a player that got relegated as your new number one. But also,
Arsenal
they're in the
chose to do
market
that
for
at
another.
Ramsdale
We
once
did.
upon a time.
Yeah, and we had to get rid of him.
Definitely.
Like,
Even though
what I
some
would
people
say as
didn't want
well
it.
is because West Ham are still looking at another keeper. They're linked
have
to another
to.
Brazilian keeper, right? But I don't know how bad Areola's been. Like,
Do you think
he
it's
looked
that?
decent last season?
He was all right. But you know what? It's not a goalkeeper problem, in my opinion. The way that teams are penetrating them, it's like, it's too easy. It's like, boy. Like, look, we talked about what Man U could do to Burnley next week. What's Nottingham Forest going to do to West Ham? Do you see that West
Nothing,
Ham?
because psychologically Nottingham Forest have been done as well. Nuno's on his way out.
Well, will he be there for that game? We don't know, but he's come out and said he's not trying to angle a move. So,
So what do you think he's doing? You can't take on
I'm just
them
saying
Greek
what he said.
godfathers like that, you know? Yeah.
I'm not saying what I think. I'm saying what he said. He's not trying to angle a move. These managers don't resign and lose out on their bonuses. If they're gonna get sacked, they get sacked so they can get their monies. So he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know how
I reckon in a month's time he'll be the manager of West Ham, to be fair.
Do you know what I see with Nuno? What I see there, I see a power play. I see an owner who's clearly like my way or the highway, and you've got Nuno whose stock is very high right now, right?
He's done great.
He's got a good squad there. They've done really well last year, and I see a man who's like, listen, this guy is just. I don't like how he's talking to me, how he's dealing with me. I need to kind of use this opportunity while my stock's higher to sort of put a marker down because,
It's not that.
Marinakis-
Do you know what the drama is? Or what's underpinning this? Why he's had the drama with Mariakis?
Talk to me.
So, to be fair, I'm kind of on Mariakis' side because when you hear this is funny. So, like, when you speak to Forest supporters, they will tell you that the drama is all based around Nuno wanted Traore, as in grease ball at Fulham. And then Edu and Mariakis said, nah, you ain't getting him. Like, and we'll give you these men. So now he's blowing up because he's like, oh, you're undermining me, yada, yada, yada. But to be fair, like, if your ID is taking you to Traore, like, yeah, man needs to
Where
tell
did you
step
Where did you
aside.
hear that? Because that's
Couple Forest fans.
See, this is the thing. I don't take what all fans say as facts. I'm not denying that that they didn't say that to you, but I'll need like a stronger source from the fans saying that's the reason, because that doesn't sound like a good reason.
So what's going to be a stronger source for you? They ain't
I
going to
don't
say
know.
in the papers, are they?
Well,
And you
I'm
can't
just
rely
saying,
on Guffs. I know he thinks he's at ITK, but nah.
No, I'm not listening to him. But like, some fans are saying this, and like we had fans saying Sesko's gonna come to Arsenal definitely, and they didn't. So I'm not going to go back down that road again. Yeah, Guffs, chill, all right. But I'm not going down that road again. Yeah, but facts ain't always facts.
You're going to get man rubbing his earlobes in a minute, and saying,
But yeah, literally, like, people talk. Like, I don't think it's just that. I think it's that time when he came on the pitch, he didn't like the way he came on the pitch, and he sort of roughed man up on the pitch. If he's undermining him, he's probably doing one too many things, but he ain't going He's got a good club in Forest. He's been given the chance. He's got them to where he's got. I don't see him leaving. Like, I could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. I think he's going to be there
it's
for
a good
a while.
shot. It's a good shot, but I can see him leaving.
Yeah,
But
it sounds like you both can.
He's not going to leave unless he has something lined up. So, which is why the West Ham spot does look like it could happen, because
that'll be interesting. But he ain't going to do what he did with Nottingham Forest. So that's what I'm saying. Why would you want to go there right now? Let me tell you something straight here. This is what I've said, and I've said it so many times. This is West Ham's fault, because as much as I'm a gooner, my second team, I know you're not going to have a second team, is West Ham. Like, with me, I'm going to break it down. I don't know if I told you, man, but I'll tell the viewers. My dad's from East London, my mum's from North. So, like, it was either West Ham or Arsenal for me, and I grew up in the Ian Wright era. So, like, it was always going to be Arsenal compared to what was going on at West Ham at the time. But I've got a soft spot for West Ham. But they had David Moyes that was doing well for them. They sacked him. We know what happened to them. They brought him back. He won a form of a European trophy. They sack him. They bring in Potter. Now they're struggling again. It's like they don't want to stick. They didn't want to stick with Moyes, and it's like, if you can't hear, you must feel. So now I have no sympathy for them now, because I just think you did it the first time, you got him back, he delivered, and then you wanted someone better, or you wanted to move on again, and it's like, it just don't make sense. So, like, I think they deserve what they're getting right now. Personally, that's just my view. Like, this is what you get.
They do. They have that sort of Tottenham syndrome, innit, where they believe they are entitled to a certain type of football, right? And
you know what they remind me of?
They
They won a European trophy and they got gas. It's like you winning the FPL or getting the most points out of us three last season.
Okay.
Get it?
Man, cut me up to have a go at me, yeah?
I'll just cut you up to just say the truth. It's like they finally do something. And all of a sudden they got puffy chest. And then, like, got rid of the manager. Now they're just back to where they were.
I don't see it that way. To me, West Ham were never happy with Moyes. They were never, like.
That's why they got rid of him, right?
He would have gone then. He was saved because he won the European Cup, and they thought they had to keep him in charge. But they never wanted him. They didn't want him for a long, long time because of the way he played football. Right? They see him as being someone who's boring, defensive, defense first. And West Ham are seen as a club, or to the fans at least, they're a club that want to play on the front foot. They want to play attacking football. You know, they're built on Di Canio and this kind of exciting football. And Moyes wasn't that guy. So I think the European Cup just bought him time, because how can you sack him after winning a European Cup, right? So for me, I think that, Potter, he's got to turn things around quick, because,
yeah, but he's not going to, is he? Like, you can see they're psychologically scarred. Like, the moment a goal goes in, their heads are down.
I think it's going to be an interesting game this week, because teams have a funny way of just getting a result, but I just don't see West Ham doing so. Like, it can happen. Nothing's impossible. It's football, right? But I just see Nottingham Forest and Nuno managing them into victory.
So why don't we dive into our teams, innit?
Yeah.
You're in the middle seat, let's have your moment.
Well, look, everyone has different standards. It's just the way it is, right? And, like, for me, how I look at things, and I always look at things, and this ain't no dig, it's just the facts again, yeah? Like, yes.
It's no dig.
No, but it ain't.
Different standards.
I'm gonna break it down, yeah? We're competing amongst each other as the triple captains, but we're all in our own mini league and other mini leagues. So I'm only concerned about the overall points and what my team delivers. So, like, for me, I was happy that I got 61 points. It's average points in a game week. But when I reflect on my team, Sanchez, no clean sheet. I brought in Van der Ven, left him on the bench because I thought, it'd be safer not to go 2 against City, because I felt that Spurs could do something, but I didn't want to risk having 2 Spurs defenders. And I've got Porro on the pitch, who got 1 point less. But look, he still got a clean sheet. Nottingham Forest did nothing. Sunderland got beat. So, like, that's no clean sheets at the back. Palmer didn't play. So I got that waste man from Sunderland off the bench. Adingra got their yellow card for doing a pum-pum slap. and came off. So like that was annoying. Man City got schooled. So like the start of game week 1 did nothing. My captain got me the goal. And I was thinking, that's it, off to a good start. And then he gets injured before 60. So I don't even get the clean sheet points as well. The only good things that happened for me in the game week was Gyökeres getting 2 goals and getting off the mark. And João Pedro, who actually a lot of people were doubting, and he got a goal and 2 assists. And that is what that's what made me happy, that João Pedro and Gyökeres came through. Because if it weren't for them, I would have had a poor week. But I got the bragging rights of getting to open the show with the most points out of us 3. But going into the next game week, I'm not too happy. And, you said what the hardcore means in hardcore hots, and it's literally, I'm not scared to take minuses. I'm not even scared to bust a wild card early.
What are you unhappy about with your team? Like who in your team is concerning you?
Adingra. If I'm playing and I'm going for the 5-2 or the 3-5-2 formation, I don't want 5 of my midfielders to not be those guys. And the weak link is Adingra. Like, he's a decent player. I could take him on my team and he could score next week, for example, or he can get an assist, but he won't play 90 minutes. I haven't got time for my starting player to not be playing 90 minutes, and he's part of my midfield. It's different if you're a defender, because if you get taken off, you might have a clean sheet when you get taken off. But I don't want this like a midfielder that's that. So Dingra is a problem for me. I'm looking at my defense, and it's like I've got 2 Spurs, 2 Forest, and I've got Sanchez, and I've got. I just feel like that needs a bit of adjusting. Plus, there's players that I'm looking at and I want in my team. So when I'm looking at players that I want in my team, if I want you in my team, I want you in my team. So even if my team's doing well in other people's eyes, because I don't want of someone else, someone has to go. So I'm going to make room for the person I want. And if that costs me points, I'm willing to do it. You've seen me do it for seasons, and it's not gone against me too badly. So it's the way I do it. If I want you in my team, someone has to come out, and I'll have to make room, and that's that. But I can't really.
So are you saying like minuses versus like taking a chip?
As in wildcard?
Or
free hit. Free hit ain't on the cards for me this week. I look at the teams and I look at fixtures, and it's like Man U's got a good game, but as we said, we don't know. So look, free hits are not on the card for me. I'm minusing, and if I'm not minusing, I'm minusing more. But all jokes aside, if I don't minus, then it's going to have to be a wild card then. So it's going to be one of the two. We'll see. What about one of you guys? Like, what did you feel about your teams?
A bit similar to you, really, really hot. It's like the week started so well, right? With João Pedro getting 15 points, but then it kind of plateaued. Taking out Palmer for Saka obviously worked out well for me, albeit him getting injured. But again, I've left like big points on the bench. I've got Dubravka, who got a clean sheet. I've got Spence, who got a clean sheet. But look, it's been a bit of a mixed bag this week. But I think I'm satisfied about where I am right now in terms of my points. I think that it could have been a lot worse. I haven't fallen too far behind. But like you, Hots, I'm not happy with my team. There's at least 3 or 4 players in my team that I would definitely want to change. And
what are you going to do about it? That's the question. Are you just going to ride it out, or are you going to take?
I think I might just ride it out, because I kind of want to see what happens by the end of this window, because the end of this window is gonna make a big difference in terms of what the next move is going to be. And we might get into it later on, but there's some Liverpool assets that I might want to put on my team. But if they sign a certain player like Isak, for example, that changes the whole landscape in terms of who might come on my team. So, and likewise, if they don't sign Isak, it has the opposite effect. So, that's an example. Also, Spurs and Chelsea got good games. Cucurella is another guy that I'm looking at, and he's very offensive this year. I'm seeing him taking up very offensive positions, and he's someone that I'm looking to get in my team as well. So there's certain players I'm looking around like, I need you in my team, man. And I don't want to fall too far behind, but I just think that making the big changes right now is a wrong move. As bad as it's been, I'm still above this guy here, bro. Mr. Barrett.
Hold on. Before we go any further, you need to just keep still, like, because you keep rocking like you're sick again. Mr. Byron is still below you.
Even on my worst day, bro, he's still better than his best day. So like,
hold on. Let's just be sensible there. So you're talking that talk, and you didn't open the show last week, did you? I did, right?
You did.
Like just so that we're clear. So even on your best day, yada yada yada.
I said last week you'd be on the left, and you're on the left.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Okay.
Go on, talk to me. For your big.
There's not really a lot to say. Last week I said that I would have a strange game week because I had a lot of players that were playing each other. However, some of the injuries that happened and so on clearly affected and some of the games. Right. So I wasn't brave enough to go with two of Tottenham's lot in my defence. That was the reason why I put Vicario on the bench, because I was quite sure that City would score, but they didn't. So there are a few points lost from that point of view. Obviously, I had Palmer in my team. Aris was on my bench. But generally, there were some other worrying signs for me. So that was in and around Bruno. Same with Reindeers. You can see that the pick that I went for to try to create some sort of differential would have been Watkins, but it didn't work out. And I'll need to work something out in terms of what happens with Fulkrug, because that's not working for anything. So at some point, there are a few things that will need to be addressed with the team.
Them pre-season dons. There's a few of them that's been good in pre-season. Look, your
Do you know
strike
what?
force, Watkins and
He didn't.
Fulkrug are good in pre-season. And I believe
But
Watkins will
Fulkrug
come
didn't go in there because of his pre-season form. It was more that West Ham are only really going to have that one striker. So when you're looking at what you can do with certain teams, and it was also about balancing the money that I had in order for me to spend. But
you went alone in it.
It's just
That's
one of
not a
those
dig.
ones that are not working. So
Are you gonna stick with him?
it ended up being that Gakpo was the one that saved the week for me. And like
Gakpo, man.
just generally a poor week.
Gakpo's doing his bits, and I thought that he could be that guy covering that left-hand side, because he gets goals, man, and he's active, and like he's started very well. I'll give him that.
Yeah, for me, there definitely a few things for me to chew over. It's like even having Juve, he's a good move in that I can see the potential in him attacking returns wise from a defensive point of view, but he's currently sitting in a team that is definitely going to concede. So you kind of need to weigh that up against, okay, how much do you think it is possible for him to give returns? So yeah, good bits of food for thought for me there, like with regards to all of them. And like I expected the week not to be great for me, but not as bad as it was.
Dior, I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, but he was taking some mad positions. There was times in the game where I would see the ball on the right hand side of the pitch, and Dior's like a left winger, like calling for the ball, saying, "Yo, pass to me." I'm thinking, like, "Raw, you're playing really high up."
He's very attacking.
So, he's very, very attacking, but like you said, West Ham defense is all over the place.
I think they're gonna
see.
it's a weird one.
So for instance, just going back to obviously donut of the week is your thing, Hots, but for me, when I was watching the West Ham game, I call him Baron Samedi. Like Wan-Bissaka, I don't know what he was up to. Like he was all over the place. Like he's just leaving his man at the back post. Like he was like he couldn't be bothered to be on the pitch.
Do you know what it's like? Yeah, last season, towards the end anyway, he was seen as that don of a wing back for them, and then Diouf has come in, and the spotlight's on him now. So I think he's overcompensating, trying to, no, I'm the guy, and just that's what's happening. And he's always been a bit prone to like, defensive errors. But there's no way I'll change my donut of the week. Stick it to it. Bruno.
No. It's not to say.
I know.
It's not to say it should change, but like, yeah, he was horrendous for me.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm just wanting to rub that in again. That Bruno is donut of the week no matter what, because if that had happened and he was humble with it, it happens. You missed a penalty. It wouldn't be a donut. Anyone can miss a penalty. It's the behaviors before and after missing the penalties that makes you the donut of the week. If I was in his team, I'd be like, shut up, man. Stop moaning at the ref. You get me? What you moaning for? It's your shit shot. It's like you got yourself.
And to be honest, he's one of the ones that I've got a big question mark over. It's not even about his data. It's actually just watching him. Like visually, when you watch him and you see how he works within that team and so on, it's not working for me. Like, and he's a lot of spend for what he is. And realistically, he's at that point where if he ain't scoring for you and he ain't assisting, like he's literally worth nothing because there's nothing else that he is doing to help you. So from that perspective, as you were talking about, FPL is just business. Like the reality is, one of the things that I thought could be a clear upside, I don't think it will be. And I don't think it will be regardless of what happens against Burnley.
I think it'll have a period. He'll get his period, but it's not now. And that's how I look at it.
I look at the Burnley game as a game which is like almost, you're at home, you haven't had a good start. Either you're going to moan and complain about things, or it's time to stand up and be counted. So I think it can go either way, right? And I think that it has the potential for Man United to get the crowd going. And if they get an early goal or something, they could run through Burnley. Because like you alluded to before, they've got good attacking players. So it's a really, like, it can go either way for me. I think Bruno Fernandes is a dark horse in terms of an FPL asset this week because,
I think he's going to be a few people's captains.
As bad as it's been, it just could be that game that ignites him. Because, I just feel like he has too much talent and he can score in so many different ways, Bruno Fernandes. And he owes the fans a lot, right? I think he'd be fired up. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, we've already seen sort of one team be bad one week and one team be good the next week. We'll see what happens when this week. But I've got a sticky feeling they might bounce back.
Well, it's Burnley, so it's a good team to bounce back on. And after missing that penalty and crying about it, like he must have stopped crying by now. So I'm sure he's going to just get his head straight and try to, repay his teammates. So, yeah, we'll see.
But I know Mr. Statman over there has got some interesting insights to talk about this game week. So let's have a look at what Statman Art thinks of the coming game week.
So, game week 2. Doom and gloom, low scores. I've got them too. But the Statman doesn't do tantrums. I do, however, test assumptions. Point in case. Ollie Watkins. 2 starts, 180 minutes, 0.5 XG, 0.2 XA so far this year, and no returns. Well, not just yet. But here's the truth behind that. Game week 1 was a cage fight. Villa went down to 10, and that kills attacking momentum. This meant Watkins only logged 0.1 XG. Nothing more could be expected. After all, he was skating uphill. Game week 2, that's where the story really starts to whisper. With season XG sitting around 0.5 and game week 1 only 0.1, that leaves roughly 0.4 XG in game week 2 alone. Add to that 5 shots, 1 on target, 13 touches in the box across the first 2 games. So the volume is there. The outcome just hasn't landed yet. And here's what really matters. If a player creates chances but doesn't score, that's underperformance versus expected output. It's the invisible value that most managers ignore. In the early part of the season, blanking doesn't mean bad form. Expected involvement, XG plus XA, isn't just theory, it's your edge. Now zoom out. Look ahead. Villa's fixture run is friendly. Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, Burnley in the next 6. Ollie's historical XGI puts him in premium company. The smart play isn't to ditch him. It's to hold steady and let variance turn. You don't chase ghosts after 2 blanks. You bank embers that are about to catch fire. And here's the kicker. You don't have to fly blind. Free tools exist to show you these trends. FBref for shot maps, Understat for XG chains, OpenFPL for predictive swings. They surface the underperformers before the points arrive. That's where the real edge lives, spotting the players about to rise, not the ones who already have. So this week's move isn't about raised transfers. Resist the urge. It's about discipline. Stick with the process players. Watkins is one of them. Data over drama. Statman out. Back to the pod for you.
So yeah, interesting take there. I mean, so like, talk to me about kind of, you know, some of your kind of findings.
Well, it's a strange one, right? Like the game weeks have started in a bit of a strange one for Villa. Like the first week, obviously, the sending off does skew things, but the reality is when you watch that game, Villa didn't look as though they were creating many chances anyway. But the fact that you've got 0.4 expected goals from him when he was playing Brentford, like the chances were coming, so the volume was there. Like, and for me, what we have with Watkins historically means that you can't ignore him. You can't just say, well, he's blanked, get out of my team, because in reality, he's got very, very good fixtures coming up. But we got a similar thing with Haaland, right? So you look at Haaland, like last week, I think he only registered like 1 shot and it wasn't on target, right? But the reality is that when you look at what he's done across the 2 games this season, like the volume is there, he's doing things. Like, so he's got like 2.5 XG, I think, as well as 0.3, something along those lines for the 2 games for expected assists as well. So again, he's creating big chances, he's involved, he's having a lot of touches. I think he's had 22 touches in the box as well across the 2 games. So again, he's another person where, based on his historical behaviour and what he has done, as well as this, you know that if the volume is there, he's going to get his goals. So for me, again, he won't be moving. But I do have issues with, as I said previously, Bruno. I'm not sure where we're going with him.
In the case of Watkins, though,
yeah,
Watkins, look, he's had a fabulous 2 or 3 years in terms of FPL points, which are undeniable. But looking at this version of Aston Villa, just this version right now we've seen before our eyes, are you a little bit concerned as someone who's got Watkins in your team in terms of how they're currently set up? Because when I look at Aston Villa compared to last year, they had guys on the wings, they had guys who could create for their forward players. And what I'm not seeing now is I'm seeing a bit of a kind of an imbalance in terms of how they're set up. And they've lost some key assets as well, right? They've had obviously PSR issues. I'm just not seeing that same fluency.
But they haven't really lost anyone.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know who they lost. Who did they lose again? Just as a reminder for me.
Well, we're talking about from a year or 2 ago. We'd obviously lost Douglas Luiz, who was a good facilitator for them and took all their set pieces, was very good from set pieces.
That's not last the season before last.
We're talking about Watkins in the last 2-3 years. They've down tools in terms of some of the assets that they've had over the last few years.
But what did they lose this season before that?
And they lost the yard man, innit, on the right hand side. You know, he's gone now, so he's now not a wide option for them.
So they lost Bailey.
Who was in and out of the team last year, to be fair, but he's someone that could offer you something different, which you don't have. And obviously they lost Ramsey, who played a lot of games last year, who could play in the left sometimes for Aston Villa. He's now gone to Newcastle. So I just look at them and they just don't seem to have the same potency as they had last year. I'm still backing Watkins for now because they've got good games, but I was just curious to sort of see if that's sort of factored into your analysis.
I think he will come okay, but looking at Villa, I wouldn't be putting no Villa players in, but if you got Watkins, I guess you don't take him out. The same way I don't think Ark's taking out Bruno this week either, regardless of what he said, because he's got Burnley, so he's going to be in his team, and that's how I look at it.
I think we need to be careful with Watkins, like and Villa in general. Villa do this, right? Like last season, Villa weren't fluid and their potent best.
That's a good point.
All of the time, they went through patches. Most of the season, they only really brought it back after January when they got different loans in and so on. In terms of them being lopsided and so on, Rodgers played on the left quite often last season. Like the fact that we've got that flipping twerking guy from Scotland playing as a number 10 or whatever not, yeah, that is an oddity, and that's something that needs to stop. But that's Emery. Emery does weird things certain times. But the things that are true, what I look for is, obviously it's a small sample, right? It's only been 2 games, but the fact that he's having so many touches in the box, etc., means that it's happening. It's not that these things are not happening. Like it is. If I was looking and I said to you, well, actually, he's only had 5 touches in the box across the entire season, like then that's more of a worry, because I'm like, well, you're their main striker. Like Villa don't have another striker, right? It's Watkins or nothing. So from that perspective, I'm more likely to say, well, what I'm saying, he's their talisman.
To be honest, yes.
Even
I was going to interrupt you to say, I swear they bought someone, but I don't even remember his name. I don't even know who he was, where he came from. So you're right. There's no point even mentioning him. Watkins is the main man, and he will be.
So from that perspective, I'm like, your fixtures are becoming favourable. Like, let's see. Like, don't get me wrong. If in 2 games, like we're still in a place where he's just shooting, but he hasn't had any returns, then yeah, it'll be time to get the strap.
While we're on the point of kind of, you know, who we're going to move to, do you guys have any thoughts about who you might look to bring in for next game week?
There's so many people that, you know, people will be targeting. Spurs look quite good. People will be looking at Spurs players, and people look at fixtures. Like myself, I look at fixtures. So you know, got West Ham being targeted, and Nottingham Forest have got them. So potentially, Wood be someone that I would definitely be interested in having in my team against West Ham. People like Kudos, Johnson for Spurs. Johnson's got 2 in 2. Kudos hasn't got a goal yet, so you know he's due a goal. Potentially, I say that like he's a prolific goal scorer, which he hasn't proven to be. But
funnily enough, although he's got 3 assists, Kudos, his actual XG has been very, very low. He hasn't had many chances.
That's why I covered my back there by saying that in general, forget a Spurs shirt, even at West Ham, he wasn't prolific. So, you know, I think Spurs, Nottingham Forest, people are going to be targeting. I think people are going to still look at Man U because of the Burnley game and the people free hitting and stuff like that. Because, you know, you got Arsenal, Liverpool this game week. So people ain't going to be looking at players from that team, even though Liverpool's striker has been doing well, which in my opinion, they don't even need Isak, because I think that they've found a gem, and I think people will be turning to him. Ikatite.
So what are you saying? You bring the tables and chairs, yeah? We go -8, or what are we doing?
So because the transfer window's not closed yet, and because there was Carabao Cup games, I couldn't just go all out ladder match straight away. But, you know, I'm in the minuses already. So I don't know if it's going to be like I don't know if it's going to be a steel cage match.
Oh, you're in the minuses already, yeah?
I'll keep it super real. I'm in the minuses already. Like I didn't have any transfers stored, because obviously I put Vendervin in last week. I'm on a -4 right now as we speak. It could be more, but I've been trying to just be patient. You know, I'm holding off on that. It's like, Devon, get the table. But I'm just like, just cool now. Let Carabao Cup games come through. Let's see what happens with the injury updates. And then I'm either going to move into a -8. And potentially, if I'm itching to do more, I might just bust a wild card late. Even though players would have gone up, I think it's important to see what happens in the transfer window and what happens with the injuries. But yeah, I put cards on the table. I've taken a -4 so far. Early as well.
I'm looking at some of these players on the screen right now, and I think it's important to sort of. So Cucurella has the highest kind of attacking stats for defenders in the game at the moment, and he's someone that I'm really looking to get in my team. If I'm honest,
he looks French there.
He does, yeah. I've got a lot of money in my bank right now, so I can pivot him quite easily. And Chelsea do have good games.
But will you?
So I'm definitely looking at. I'm thinking about it.
Have you got any transfers stored up, or like myself, did you make any last week?
I made one last week, yes, and I've got no transfer stored up.
Okay.
So like you, for me, I got the minus as well. So I'm thinking about it.
See, me, that's the difference between me and it. That's what the hardcore is for the people that don't know. With me, I'm on nothing long. If I want someone in my team, I'm just doing it. I'm not worrying about minus points because I'll just make them up. I'm not worried about if I drop 4 points, these man might catch me or next man might catch me. I'm just looking at it as I make the right moves, it will cover itself eventually. So I've done my -4 as my minimum, and we'll see if we extend. With you, if you want more than one player, you're going to be pussyfooting around, and I don't know if you're going to actually do a minus and just make one change. I'm not making a prediction, but this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, you make one change, or if you want to make more minuses, you're immediately doing a wild card because you won't want to just take the minuses like me. So that's my prediction. And Ark, you've basically got. I think you didn't make a change last week, did you? Or am I wrong there?
No, I did make a change because I had to cover Frimpong.
Ah, okay. So you're in the same shoes.
Yeah, I can speak for myself, sir. You know, I am here.
Yeah, you took out Frimpong there.
This is part of the problem, Mr. Guffs. You're always watching people's team.
He's had to stay focused on your own.
We saw that we saw that in the first week. When his team changes became ours.
To be fair, I look at teams above me, but now you're below me, I don't care. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you didn't know that I'd be below you until now, right? So let's just chill. That said, I'm bringing in a striker. I don't know which striker yet. It depends on if certain transfers go through or whatever. Not. What I would say is if, for instance, Strand Larsen goes to Newcastle, he'd be straight in my team. But likewise, if Wissa went up there, he'd be straight in my team.
That's what I mean.
Because I think those guys will do good. It'll just be, I've got money in the bank because I got rid of Frimpong last week, but it's difficult to work out who to pivot to. And also, Fulkrug is not exactly at the best price point anyway. It's not like, if he was like 7 million, then yes, I've got some leeway in terms of where I'm going to go to. But even with the money that I've got in the bank, like I'm still limited with who I could go to.
I make predictions. That's my thing.
That's my biggest thing, right? It's not like I'm pussyfooting around to Hotz's point. Like, it's not about that for me, all right? I'm not being a pussyfooting nothing, but the players that I want require a lot of change in my team. It requires like -8, -12 to kind of get the players I want in. And it's like, that's just going too far at this stage for me. Like, if I could do a quick change from 1 to 1, then I'd do a -4, but, it's not as simple. Like, I want people that hard in my team. That's not an easy player to be in my team.
You know what?
I think strategically, I'm starting to look at a free hit. I wouldn't do a wild card at this stage. I feel like if you wild card now, like you're effectively admitting that every bit of planning that you did beforehand was a load of poop. Like, so
what about
for me?
What about if you're high up in the league and you're actually doing okay, and then you do a wild card? You can't really think it's that you're doing put because say like I bust out. Say like now, the difference is with as you said, Guffs. You're looking at what you're gonna do. You don't want to take -8, -12. Like I've got the potential to do that, and I'm only holding off now because I'm like, my team hasn't done that well. I'm positioned quite well in the league. I've averaged 62 weeks in a row. My team ain't in a terrible shape in other people's eyes, but I know who I want in my team and I want him in now. So like this is where I have to have the balance of being ruthless and just doing what I want to do, or trying to play the right strategy. So if I put the right plays in and they do well, it looks great. But that's part of the risks. So for me, it's like if I'm gonna go and do a -8 or -12 now, I might just bust a wild card because I could just do the -8 or -12 later. But it's just whether it pays off or not is what happens when I make these type of decisions. But like
So going back to what you said, like in terms of what would my thought process be if somebody's close to the top of a league and they use their wild card at this stage? Like for me, there's two reasons that you do that. You either do that because you're chasing the trend, and that was your strategy before you even came into the start of the game. Like we're seeing with, I know we'll address it at some point, but there is a guy in our league at the moment that he's used a chip every week. Like that's clearly it's a thought out strategy that he's got for what he is doing. Whether it's going to be right or wrong, I don't know. The other thing is, clearly we've got more chips available to us than we did in previous years. So yeah, there is some, I suppose, validity to somebody using a wild card as it stands. But for me personally, it feels like you'd be doing the wild card because you're saying, yes, I made a mistake. And for me, if you've got free hit available to you, why would you wild card just before the international break? Because you don't know what's going to happen on the international break either.
I wouldn't co-sign that necessarily. I think I did my work.
No one's asking you
to. I am. Like, I think I wildcarded early last year and went very well for me.
You should do it again.
The biggest reason why I'm not wildcarding at this moment is because the window is still open. If the window was closed right now, I'd have a very different viewpoint right now. But because the window is still open and so much can change between now and Tuesday, that's the only reason why I'm not doing a wildcard. Because like I said before and early in the show.
So you're not doing a wildcard this game week then? That's I like
No, I'm not, because Liverpool alone have a big say in terms of what my team might be. Because if they don't buy Isak, then that means Ekitike is definitely number one striker and going to play all the games. Yeah. That means Gakpo is definitely left winger because there's no Diaz or God rest his soul, but there's no Jota, all right? So Gakpo, Ekitike, Salah, that's your front three, and it's not going anywhere. So for me, it changes my whole viewpoint in terms of how I'm going to attack my team, right? So I don't want to take a wild card now and risk putting Ekitike in my team, then to buy Isak and think, oh God, now I've got to take him out again. I'd rather wait and see how it all pans out.
That makes sense.
And I think,
Yeah, but even if they buy Isak, he can't play yet, can he? He's had no preseason. He's done nothing.
Yeah, but they've got a 2-week break for internationals, right? Which he's in a Sweden team,
and even if
he doesn't come, maybe, and even if he doesn't come into the team in week 4, he's going to come off the bench and take minutes off Ekitike. So, to me, like, why would I bring in Ekitike now against Arsenal, the best defense in the league? I might just wait, get past that game, see what the land lies, and then if they don't buy Isak, now I bring him in. So that's,
you love dropping that little nugget in it. Arsenal, the best defense in the league.
But they are. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I mean? That's clear to me. So it's clear to everyone. But
have you got any Arsenal defenders in your team?
Not at the moment. And that's another problem I have. But Arsenal have a very tough start, but they're showing even against the better teams, they can still hold it up. So even now, I'm thinking like, just bring an Arsenal in because they can keep clean sheets against anyone.
They're going up.
So yeah, there's lots. They are.
I'll tell you what. Look, this is the reality for me. Yeah, talking about the up and coming game week, I want to do more than a -4, and it doesn't necessarily make sense to do a wild card. But if you know who you want in your team, regardless of who may move around, then you can act. And sometimes I've, waited when to do the wild card, and then when I've done it in this situation, and I regret it. So now I just do what I want. So like I'm on a -4. I could stick to a -4 and just ride it out and see what happens after the next game week. But then I'm going to be in the same shoes again because I'm not going to put the players I wanted in. So then I'm gonna just want to do minuses next week. So it's like I haven't got time to do minus. I'd rather just do I'm either gonna do a wild card, and it depends, like I said, on injuries. We don't know everyone's status at the moment, and we don't know what's going on. I don't even know the rest of the results from tonight. So I'll make a decision, but I'm on a -4 and I'm happy with my team.
Well, guys, let's get into kind of the main league. I think you touched on we have a clear leader at the moment, but it's been an interesting week. James, you are playing an absolute blunder right now, son. I'll give you that. You have a comfortable lead at the moment, so fair play to you. 86 points was one of the highest points in this league this season. So look at your team. Triple captain Jokeres, very good move.
Yep.
I mean, you said already that, playing his chips early is working for him. He's giving himself a buffer, so well done.
Yeah, when the chips pay off, it's a good look. You get to a situation where you get a little bit of a head start, and then you just have to hold on to it.
But actually, the highest scorer this week went to Adrian Still. So, took a minus, but very good game week. Pickford at the back as well. Amazing 15 points penalty save. So obviously was a basis for his points.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Big up AD.
At the other end of the table, I think we'll see a familiar towel. 2 Peak for you. How funny that name is. I mean, actually, a decent week to be fair, but got some ground to make up.
It's a couple games in. The league's going to keep on moving around. Obviously, as we said, the leader's got that gap that he's created for himself by using the 2 chips. So, he's got his head
Do we
start.
think he'll use another one this week?
Potentially, he looks like he's using his chip, so he might go for 3 in a row.
James, if you're watching, I'm curious to sort of see if this is kind of your philosophy. Are you dropping chips like all in one? I mean, what's the mindset? So let us know.
The mini league's gonna be closed at the end of the international break, right? So anyone that's in the league who hasn't subscribed yet, subscribe to the YouTube page. Otherwise, if you come in the top places where we've got money up going for the top 3, you won't get paid out. And even further, if we've clocked that you are not a subscriber that's in the league, you could be erased from the league. But if you're not, if you're in the league and you're doing well, you won't get rewards for it. This is the last time you're going to get to join the league, and when it's closed, it's closed. And the pot ain't bad for the first season of us. We've put up the money, so who will get it?
My thoughts in general for the next game week is I will be going and having a look at some of these fixtures. I think they'll be interesting. From my perspective, I expect to turn things around from where we were last week. Last week didn't come as a surprise to me, so it's not that much of an issue. I'm not concerned, but consistency is the key with this game. So we will continue.
Are you concerned that with all your stats, if you finish last?
Am I concerned with all my stats to finish last? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's game week 2.
Just saying, with all these stats you have available to you, and all this
Okay,
research.
so
it's
with all the
curious
stuff you
to
was
understand.
doing in your first week, what was that? I mean, I'm not really sure where you're trying to go with this, but give me something to work with.
You running your gums before the league started and talking about I'm the man to beat, and so far this game week 2, you're not showing it. You've come out with excuses. I accidentally pressed the bench boost.
I didn't have excuses. I've not had one excuse. Simply
You
just
accidentally did a bench boost. So
yeah, there's an accident. Then is that excuse or is it stating the truth? I mean,
I don't know if it's the truth, because you might have been intentionally using a bench boost and it didn't work out. So I don't know if it's the truth. You're saying it was an accident, but that's just you saying it. I don't know if me or the viewers believe that. But how stupid can you be to accidentally bench boost on game week 1? So that I'll leave that question to the viewers. But what I will say is, before you was running your mouth before the season started, and I said, okay, let's see if you back your mouth. And I said that I'll speak for myself. I will make sure that you're silent. And so far, you've got nothing to talk about, and I hope it continues. And if I have my way, it will. But I've taken a -4 this week. You're saying that you might. Let's see if you do. But if you don't, you've got a head start this week, so you might get your first game week to lead the show.
He who laughs last, my friend. He who laughs last.
No one's laughing. You're the only one laughing and skinning teeth.
Yeah. All right, boys. Until then, have a nice evening, nice week. We'll meet again.
Bless.
Peace out, people.
Truth be told, when I wonder what the future holds,